afternoon, Facebook. I'm Erie Times-News online reporter Sarah Grabsky. We are out here. It is a beautiful day at the Presque Isle Lighthouse. I'm standing here with the executive director of the lighthouse, Michael Sullivan. We are going to be, hopefully today, taking a little tour, learning a little bit about the lighthouse and giving you some views that you might not be able to see otherwise here in your office on this Friday morning. So I must warn you guys that the Wi-Fi might be a little spotty, so we might be in and out here, so please be
Connection available.
okay.
Go again.
And so we'll be taking you hopefully on a tour, learning a little bit about the lighthouse. We are going to start, Michael, people like me, so I'm a transplant from Dayton, Ohio,
Sure.
come here, don't really know a whole lot about the lighthouse. So give me a little brief history.
Well, the lighthouse was built in 1872, operating lighthouse since 1873, and it's still an aided navigation, which is huge, Sarah. There's a lot of the lighthouses across the Great Lakes specifically have been mothballed. Ours has not. We actually answer to the Coast Guard station out of Buffalo. They come down and check the light a couple times a year. There's 78 steps to the top of the lighthouse, top of the tower, the lantern room. And we've operated it as a 501(c) for the last 3 years, I think, has been. And we have thousands of visitors all over the world. Some of our first visitors yesterday on opening day were from Germany, Bavaria, and somewhere France. We had yesterday. Yeah,
very
so
cool.
It's pretty neat. Yep.
So tell us, this was actually, somebody actually lived here
Yes.
for a period of time, correct?
Yes. Actually, we had people lived in the lighthouse up till 3 years ago.
Okay.
1949 was the last lightkeeper, a family by the name of Huntington. Then the house was electrified, if you will. The light was, and then after that it was park personnel, Coast Guard personnel, but basically Coast Guard personnel and park personnel. And they lived here till 3 years ago.
And now you guys get the opportunity to come see the lighthouse now. So tell us a little bit about, if somebody wants to come to the lighthouse, how do they do that?
Sure. Right now, starting yesterday on the 24th of May, we're open 7 days a week. We're open from 10 in the morning till 5 at night. That schedule will go through September into October. We might be open on limited time through the holidays also. We have a brand new gift shop behind us, etc., which we'll tour in a few minutes. And the gift shop will probably be open through the Christmas season. So you come down, there's 2 different tickets you can buy. $6 ticket will take you to the top of the tower, and a $3 ticket will take you in the house for a tour through the house. And of course, you can walk the grounds in the beautiful area for no charge at all.
It's so interesting too. We were just watching people give it. These tour guides know so much about this lighthouse. I definitely think it's worth the
it is
the $3. So.
Yeah, we have. We're absolutely blessed, and I say this to everybody. We have 139 right now guides, volunteers, if you will. And we have 2 shifts. We have a shift in the morning, a shift in the afternoon. And we literally need 7 people per shift. So
wow.
It's 14 people a day, which I think turns into 98 people a week.
Right.
And it's all volunteer driven. They're very well educated on the lighthouse, and they probably know more history about the lighthouse than I do. They're excellent.
All right, Michael, you want to go head into the gift shop? So tell us while we walk, kind of give us a little bit of information about the gift shop and kind of what your thinking was behind turning. This was an old garage here.
An old garage,
yeah.
It was a two-stall garage here, and we worked on it for 3 years. We had the architectural firm of Kidder Wachter design it for us, and it's the idea was to get out of the lighthouse itself, so we could start the restoration of the lighthouse. And here, as you can start to see, Sarah, this is the gift shop here. And it houses we have the gift shop in here. We have ticket sales in here for the different tours. We have some offices in here. Mary Ambrose's office is in here, and she runs all our volunteers. She coordinates all the different times. There's some ladies at the front desk and Mary there. So Deborah's over here who operates the gift shop for us.
Come on in, Deborah.
Hello, Deborah.
Hello.
So talk a little bit about what people can, buy here and find here too.
Sure.
Okay, we feature a lot of local artists. Oregon Candles we have, and a number of artists. We have our Presque Isle Growlers from Moosehead Pottery. A gentleman named Bill Hess carves the lighthouses. Other than that, we have Brian Payne, who does mugs and artwork. We have beach bags, we have cards, we have keychains and coffee. We have a number of shirts, different long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, hats.
This is very cute. This is one of my favorites. Yes. Little memorable plaque.
Yes. We have beach glass items. All of these, we have beach glass jewelry, and we have artwork that is made with beach glass from a local artist. We have soap made by Pink Cottage Soaps for us with our logo on it.
Everything is the lighthouse.
Everything is the lighthouse.
That is so cool.
These dishes are by an artist, Vicki Allen. The glaze has beach glass infused, Lake Erie beach glass infused right into the glaze. We have chocolate made by a local girl. It's chocolate beach stones.
So everything is local here.
A lot of things are local, yes, except for the little keychains and some of the mugs.
Right.
Everything is local.
But they still say Presque Isle Lighthouse.
Yes.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what went into the renovation, Michael.
It was a $300,000 renovation. It took a number of years to get all the approvals. We are on the state park, so we had to have the approvals to go through the approval process. There was fundraising involved. The Presque Isle Partnership was a big contributor. It was the proceeds actually from the Steely Dan concert of a few years ago. I'm trying to think. There was a grant from the state, the Erie Community Foundation, and a number of different entries did help us and support us in getting it built.
And it's been popular, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it has been very popular. Even the last 4 or 5 weeks as we've been, preparing to get it open and stuff. People just, Sarah, people just love lighthouses.
There is something fascinating,
I think it's the romance of it or the history of it, and they just come from literally around the world. And when you are closed, they're banging, knocking nights. They were banging on doors and windows and stuff. And,
right.
Can I come in? Can I visit? And, no.
There's 3 feet of snow on the ground.
It'll be another few weeks. So, it's just constant.
So tell me, what went into, you largely in part turned this lighthouse into what it is. How did you, what went into your thinking here to remodel it and to revamp it the way you have?
Well, we have an excellent board. The board was established about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was the first board, if you will, of the Presque Isle Lighthouse. And we just started to take baby steps. And our goal the first goal was to open the lighthouse and draw visitors in. I think there had been such a pent-up demand to see the lighthouse. We had that surge of excitement, and I guess we thought it would abate a little, and it hasn't.
That's great.
It just continues.
Remind people on the fees. I believe the gift shop is free, and just remind people on the fees or no fees. Go ahead.
Yeah, for the fee.
And hours.
Pardon me? And the fee, yes. The hours for the gift shop are 7 days a week, and our times are 10 in the morning till 5 at night, and we run 3 20-minute shifts an hour. And the fee to go to the top of the light, to the top of the tower, guided tour is $6, and then for the house tour it's $3. Grounds, gift shop, the rest of the property is free.
And Michael, talk a little bit about that decision for you? I mean, it used to be last year. This is new, right? It was still a fee to go to the top of the tower, but there was no fee to go into the house.
Yeah, there was no fee to go in the house.
Right.
That was a conscious decision we made at the board level, and really we had so many thousands of people going through the house, Sarah. We had to control it.
Right.
As we said, the house was not built for 40 or 50,000 people a year.
Right.
To go through, and we noticed the floors with the sand, it was just getting ground down. So we said we have to put a small fee. So a small fee of $3 is I don't think it's a lot, and again, you can still tour the grounds and stuff at no charge.
So tell us about some of the renovations that you've done over the past few years inside the house.
Well, not so much inside the house. I'll give you an overview of the grounds, and then we can talk about the house. But the grounds, 3 years ago, you could hardly see the lighthouse.
Right.
It was loaded with trees. There was a fence around it. So we've cleared a lot of the property. The fence is down. We put brand new sidewalks in, as you can see. We put an irrigation system in, or a sprinkler system in, a new lawn, new flagpole that was donated by one of our board members, Sally Kohler. The fence was huge. It's a period correct fence from the 1900s. And this fence, in fact, I had a meeting on it yesterday, will be stained white.
Oh,
which
nice.
is period correct from the 1900s. Again,
Right.
we have pictures of everything.
Right.
So the grounds have all been pretty well done and cleaned up. And again, of course, the big thing was the gift shop here, and we call it a welcome center. Our welcome center here. Remind them on the Wi-Fi.
Just to let you guys know, we are out. So if you're just joining us right now, we are at the Presque Isle Lighthouse. I am here with the executive director, Michael Sullivan. Please be patient with us. The Wi-Fi out here is kind of spotty. We are giving you a quick tour of the grounds. Just opened yesterday, so we're gonna head into the house here again. The Wi-Fi might be a little bit spotty here, so please hang with us as we kind of we'll see you at the top. We'll see you at the top of the tower. So we are going to try and climb the tower. Chris Millett, who's behind the camera, is going to try and climb it backwards for you. So we will see you guys at the top of the tower, but again, so please bear with us. The Wi-Fi here is going to be a little bit spotty. We're going to head into the house now, and we will see you at the top of the tower.
Josh is watching. So.
Hi, Josh.
While we have a good signal, you want to just fill us in?
Yeah, fill us in on where we are.
Okay.
Michael.
We are actually in the entrance of the lighthouse. Again, the house was built. The whole property, the house was built in 1872 at a cost of $15,000. Here's the stairs to the second floor. There's 2 bedrooms upstairs. To our left here is the oil room, and this is where the night's supply of oil would be stored for the lightkeeper. When he would go to the tower about 4 times a night during the shipping season, which lasted here on the Great Lakes for us about April through November. After that, you really don't want to be on the lake. So, but this is the oil room here, and then we have our different rooms in the house. And so we will start the rehabilitation and the restoration of the house as time and funds allow.
Let's see if we can keep the connection as we head up the tower.
So this has also all been
This is all new,
painted, right?
Sarah. Yeah, we just this spring actually we just had the tower painted.
It smells great.
Yeah, it smells brand new.
Yes, it does.
So it was
At the time.
we're back and forth constantly.
All right, we're getting close to the top.
Dan, can you take him over there?
There.
Sorry, what'd you say?
We're trying to do a Facebook Live here, so.
Oh, I know her. Sarah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can actually see.
Dan, if you can, do you mind if we just take a few steps around that way, if that's
I've actually
possible?
met you before at St. Patrick's.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I remember you.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so we're back. We are here
Get
at
out of your way here.
the Lighthouse
That's okay.
Tower. So you have to keep in mind that the lighthouse is open for tours today, so obviously obviously there are people up here with us, joining us today, taking advantage of this beautiful day. So,
Remind us how many steps and how tall, please.
so Michael, let's go over what we just did. We climbed how many steps?
78 steps.
Okay,
We
and
all did well.
we all did well. We all made it. How high up are we right now?
We're about 75 feet.
Okay, so 75 feet up in the air. So tell us a little bit about this lighthouse history. It became electronic in what year, you said?
49.
Okay, 49, and
The lamp that was here is a fourth order Fresnel lens.
okay.
They go by different orders: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And we had a fourth order that was right here on this pedestal.
Okay, all right. Share with us a little bit, like what's some information that maybe people don't know about the lighthouse?
I think what people are most surprised to hear about that is it's still needed navigation.
Yes,
That's huge.
go a little bit, share with us a little bit about that. So boats actually use this, or ships or vessels actually use this lighthouse, right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And which I've always said makes it to me very cool about it. It's not a mothballed light.
Cool.
We had last year we had about last year in 17 we had 16,246 people, I think it was, pay to go to the top of the tower here.
I mean, the view is just breathtaking.
What kind of comments do you get from the folks that do make it to the top? What kind of, this is a minor Erie bucket list item maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Chris, they just, I kid the new volunteers, and most people have three questions, and one is how far does the light go out, which is 13 miles? How far is Canada across the lake? And the third biggie is, can you take our picture?
So how far is it to Canada from where we're standing right now?
From here it's about 34 miles.
Okay, cool. And the light stretches 13 miles?
13.
Okay, wow. So if you are up here at night, can you see that far?
Oh,
Sorry.
well, if you're out in the water,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, you can see the light.
Give us a feel. You've been here in the dead of winter, I'm sure. Give us a feel for what a lighthouse keeper kind of was dealing with
Yes.
as far as the elements. The most critical times for this lighthouse, which would be those winter months, obviously.
Well, actually, Chris, probably the most critical times were in storms.
Right.
When ships were out there. I mean, we have to go back in history. All transportation was done by water. There was no roads, there was no UPS or FedEx. Everything was transported by water. So the lighthouses were huge on the Great Lakes and across the country and across the world. And again, that's why they're a aid to navigation. So, but to follow through that on the winter, I think it was a pretty quiet time out here.
Right. Kind of just bored in here.
Button down.
Right.
I've been here in the lighthouse in some terrific storms, and I've said to people, you don't hear anything. The house is very well built. Yeah.
Right. She was telling us that it's like all brick. I mean, it's all brick. They're like
About
insanely thick.
Yeah, walls.
A question about handicap accessibility. Tell us what is and what is not.
Well, getting to the tower is not. You can't, and that's been an issue for years with lighthouses, and we are working as we speak with the firm again to have handicap accessibility through the back of the house. Of course, the new center is, but we're in the process of. We have the design plans to put a lift in the back of the house to get people in the house.
So, Michael, this is a question that I have, because you were saying you were in Mackinac Island earlier. You probably visited some really cool different lighthouses. What do we do here in Erie, or how do we do things differently, or how does our lighthouse compare to other lighthouses nationally?
Sure. Sarah, I guess that's a good question. They're all different.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started getting involved in lighthouses and stuff, and people would talk about the trials and tribulations about restoring their lighthouse.
Yes.
And I thought, boy, it's taking an awful long time to do that. And then I realized the lighthouse is 20 miles out in Lake Superior. And or you know,
Right.
it's out on a peninsula 20 miles out.
Right.
And so I think one of the things we have here is we have very easy accessibility to the lighthouse. It's easy to visit. And again, I think it's very well kept and again, still an aid to navigation.
And remind us, so people, if people want to come and tour the lighthouse, a tour guide will take them up here, and basically they're so knowledgeable. They have so much information and history on the lighthouse, and you know, it's you kind of get your bang for your buck here, right?
Right, you do. After you purchase the ticket, there's a docent. You have 2 docents on the tour, and the first docent is in the oil room.
Okay.
We passed Wendy on the way up.
You're right.
And she will give you about a 6 or 7 minute talk on the history of the house.
Okay.
And then when you get to the top of the tower, you'll see someone like Dan Williams here, who probably knows more about the tower, literally, in Fresnel lenses than I would put him up against anybody in the country, because he has really studied it over the last few years.
Okay.
So you always have 2 expert docents, if you will,
Okay.
when you tour the tower.
So one of the biggest things that he'll know is about this lens, which
Yes.
is very important, correct? Because that lens,
The 4th order lens.
okay, will project 13 miles?
Correct.
Okay, so you have to stay up to date with it and stay active and kind of know.
This is an LED light.
All right, okay.
So, and it'll stay on forever.
I see, okay.
But there is a picture, we do have a 4th order Fresnel lens downstairs in the lake room. It's not the exact one that was here, but it's really, it's not the light that was here in the house.
Okay.
But it's a 4th order lens. Came from Maryland.
Any special events planned? Music, festival type things? Anything for during Discover Presque Isle that's different but specific to the lighthouse that you're planning?
Not so much, Chris, for Discover Presque Isle. Right now we have 13 private events this summer. We have weddings, we have receptions. Some business companies have rented the property. All has to be done after hours, after we are closed.
Right.
And now that we've finished up these areas around here, we are looking at the possibility maybe having a jazz festival out here and some different events.
And if anybody does want to rent the space for an event, the phone number and the website would be?
Sure. They can call me directly at 833-3604. Michael Sullivan. That's the best way. Then I really can go through our event planning book, see what dates are available, etc., etc.
And we're now open 7 days a week.
Correct.
We weren't before. It was just weekends, right?
Well, it started off weekends,
Okay.
then it went to 5 days.
Okay.
And this is our 2nd year that we're going to be 7 days.
So what went into that kind of decision making?
Really the enormity of the crowds.
Yeah.
You know, the crowds
The demand.
The demand.
Yeah.
They just kept coming, Sarah.
Right, that's great.
I mean,
And people will be able to come out here 7 days a week until when, and then 5, and then your last weekend will be when?
well, we're not sure. I hate to put a date to it, Chris, the last weekend, but we'll be 7 days, certainly through Labor Day.
Okay.
And then maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through September.
Can you imagine this view with the foliage?
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So maybe a 3 or 4 day weekend through September and October.
Yeah, sure.
And then, you know, the weather can get a little iffy.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you guys have one last minute view. And I'm seeing over there too, you guys added the bathrooms to the public restrooms and such.
The park did.
People waiting.
And those went
Okay.
live last year.
I see.
And as the park said to me, the only mistake, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
The only mistake is there's not enough of them.
Honestly,
Yeah,
though,
and
if somebody hasn't been out here in the last 2 years, it's so worth the trip.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous. You could be anywhere. Again, you mentioned Mackinac. When we were up there, my wife biked around the island.
Yeah.
It's 8 miles, and one of the comments she made was it doesn't hold a candle
Yeah.
to what we have here at the park.
It is
Absolutely
this
gorgeous
is
here.
definitely a way that you could be a tourist in your own city.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't help that it helps that we have a beautiful day to show it off
Yeah.
today, so.
We have a helicopter waiting for us.
All right, guys, well, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for sticking with us. The Wi-Fi connection was a little bit spotty. Thank you so much, Michael, for giving us the tour.
Thank you both.
Again, it'll be open daily, 7 days a week, so make sure you get on out here and, again, be a tourist in your own city and come see the Presque Isle Lighthouse.
Come and
Thanks,
enjoy.
Guys.
Thanks so much.